Hey guys! Assuming that you have read the book, you should obviously know that the Paris Opera House is the main setting in the story of The Phantom of the Opera. The setting is very important to the storyline and the plot, giving the story a feel of Gothic literature. Being able to see the actual setting visually will help you keep interest in the book. Hence this video. Throughout this video, I will be helping you visualize each scene of the book. This is the Paris Opera House. Charles Garnier had designed it during the architectural design competition in 1861. Louis XIV had decided to build a single building to put all the music students together into one academy called the Royal Academy of Music. After 171 entries from architects all around, Charles Garnier's design had been chosen to be the official draft of the building. In 1861, construction finally began, but it was constantly stopped due to war. Finally, after many years in 1875, construction was finally finished. Inside, there are several unique features that stand out. They also had balls, festivals, and feasts here too. The important settings which were from the Phantom of the Opera that I will be showing you will be the auditorium, the boxes, the lake, and the roof. This is the auditorium where Christine and the other performers put on operas and musicals such as Faust, Don Juan Triumphant, and etc. In it is the stage, several boxes, and of course, many seats. This is box 5. Inside, there are a few chairs to sit on and a balcony-type view for the rest of the auditorium. In Phantom of the Opera, the opera ghost, or Eric, asks the managers Richard and Moncharmin to rent the box on his behalf. Later, an incident occurs when the box is rented out for other guests by the managers. Eric comes and sabotages the guests' night, and one ends up breaking his leg. The auditorium itself can only seat up to 2,156 seats. Compared to the Sydney Opera House, which has a seat capacity of 5,738, this seat capacity is not much. The seats face the stage, which is 89 feet in depth and 157 feet in width. That meant that the stage could fit 200 dancers, mimes, actors, and even animals. It was even large enough to fit the entire Arc de Triomphe, which meant that it was incredibly large. Behind the stage, there are about 80 dressing rooms for the main performers and 8 large dressing rooms for the extras. The chandelier was the main attraction. In 1896, a calamity had occurred. The big chandelier that hung above the heads of the audience fell, crashing into the seats below. Miraculously, only one person had died from the incident. In the book, the author had incorporated this event, in which the chandelier fell and killed the usher who was supposed to replace Madame Giry. This is the underground lake from the Phantom of the Opera. This lake does in fact exist. In fact, the subterranean pond is now a reservoir and a training faculty for the city's firefighters. You may wonder, why is there a lake under the opera house and how did it get there? The constructors who were building the opera house had started at a swampy area. To get a reliable foundation, these men created a concrete box in which they pumped all the swamp water into, almost like a swimming pool. Afterwards, they built the opera house on top of the lake, which is why it exists. In the book, the lake is a very important setting. Eric had kidnapped Christine, in which he took her under the opera house and into the lake. They glided together as Christine was taken across the whole lake and to the other side. Then, they both stayed at Eric's lake house, which was later found by Philippe and the Persian. When the Persian had found the lake house, Eric had spared his life because the Persian had saved his back when Eric had worked for the Shah in India. But when Philippe had found the lake house, Eric murdered him at the spot and placed his body into the shore of the lake, for he had to keep his secret safe. Near the end of the book, Eric finally releases Christine to Raoul and allows them to get married. When he died, Eric was buried in the opera with the ring that he had given to Christine.